Neptune Discs sent me their entire lineup. This is a 9-hole round. Let's see how they fly. Alright, so as you saw in the intro, Neptune Discs has graciously sent me their entire lineup. This is a 9-hole round at one of my local courses, and I'm just going to play 9 holes with Neptune Discs only. Alright, so on hole 1 here, I'm going to be going with the Marlin. It's understable. This is the pearl plastic, as you can see. Flight numbers are 75-41. It's not the basket right out here, it's the one on the left side over here, so I want to throw it on a little bit of hyzer, let it flip up and turn towards the basket. Let's see how it flies. Alright, so that was my first throw of the day. Not a very good throw. I have thrown that disc already, and it gets a great amount of turn. Very good understable fairway driver, but just not the best toss. Let's see if I end it down there for a putt. Alright, so as I'm walking to the basket of hole 1 here, I just want to give a huge thank you to Neptune Discs for sending me this box. It's their entire lineup. I've got the Splash and 2 plastics, which is their putter. They were kind enough to send me the Bass plastic, which is the baseline plastic, as well as the pearl plastic, which is like a throwing putter plastic. Please consider to follow Neptune Discs on all their social media, just as a thank you for sending me these discs. Really kind of them, and so far I'm loving the flight and the feel of these plastics. Alright, so for the round, I'll be putting with the Splash in the Bass plastic, like I just mentioned. It is a putter plastic, very grippy. I don't know if you can hear that. Fly numbers on the Splash are 3301. It's a non-beaded putter, but very grippy, almost rubbery plastic. I really love the feel of this plastic. Let's see how it puts. Okay, not bad. It came up really short. That's about a 55 foot or something like that, so wasn't really expecting to make it, but gave a pretty decent bid with it. In for the par. Alright, so hole 2 here, 205 feet, as you can see, across the pond. The basket's up on a ridge, and you don't want to go too far because it drops off, then you're putting back towards the water. You also don't want to come up short for obvious reasons. I'm going to be going with the Nautilus and the pearl plastic. Nautilus is a mid-range. Flight numbers are 5502. Non-beaded, very good. Once again, that pearl plastic feels really good, nice and grippy, and a little bit of give to it, as you can see. Very pliable, very good plastic. Let's see if we can set it close to the basket on hole 2. Alright, so the distance on that was fine. A little shorter than I wanted to, but I did get across the pond. I want to have about a 35-40 footer for the birdie. That was quite a bit of chains, strong side, and it splashed out. Luckily it didn't splash in the pond, but hate to see that one. I wish you could have seen it from my angle. That was a lot of chains. Getting the par on this one. Okay, so hole 3 here plays uphill the whole way. Double mandatory between those 2 trees. Not sure of the distance. I want to say like 260, 280, something like that, but uphill. Baskets under those Bradford pear trees you can see up there in the distance. I normally go with like a slower, like a fairway, sometimes a mid-range on this. In this case, I think the Nautilus is probably a little too stable and will cut me off to the right side and short. And I think that the Marlin fairway driver is probably a little too understable. There is the pond that we just crossed on the left side. I don't want a chance losing that, so I'm going to be going with a much higher speed than I normally would on this one. The Squid It's 11.5 -1.2. Very similar to Star Plastic. You can see it's called the Triton plastic. Very good feeling once again. Not quite as gummy as the Pearl plastic, but very good feeling plastic. Super smooth. So as I said, 11 speed, higher than I would normally go here, but I don't want to lose one of these beautiful discs, so I'm gonna go up the middle with the squid. That thing comes out of your hand very clean, so smooth on the bottom. I really like the feel of these plastics. That left me probably about a 20 footer, maybe 25, 30. We'll see. Very good, smooth release on that. I just love the feel of these plastics. Okay, I was right, about a 20 footer. As you can see here, going with the Splash once again, base plastic. Really wish you could hear this. Very grippy. I love this plastic. I normally put with, I'll do like a rubber blend plastic like this, soft and gummy. But I normally put beaded, so it's a little bit different situation for me. But I really do like the feel of this. Let's see if we can hit this bug. Putting's definitely not on today. I typically don't do the best with these challenges like this on my putting. Throwing I'm decent with most of the time, but putting's so hard for me. I'm just not a great putter, and switching it up really affects my game. Walking away with the par again. Not mad, but I would love to hit those last two putts. All right, so hole 4 is like right around 200 feet, give or take a few. But the pond is directly behind the basket, as you can see. I can get a putter there, but typically there's a little bit of a headwind on this one, so I go a little bit more stable, a little higher speed. Typically putters tend to try and sail into the OB pond. Definitely don't want to do that. Going with the Nautilus again, as I said, 5502. I have noticed this to be fairly glidey for those numbers. I would almost give it a 5602. So I'm not going to throw it as hard as I can, obviously, in this shorter hole. I'm going to power it down a little bit, see if I can just throw straight to the left of it and let it fade right towards the basket. Wow. Hard to see from this angle, but it looked like an ace run from here. We'll see when I get down there towards the basket. I absolutely love that mid-range. All right, so as you can see, it was definitely an ace run. I don't know if it went in front of it or behind it, but it's, you know, 4 feet long and right of the basket here. That had to be extremely close to an ace. Let's tap it in. First 2 of the round. Let's go, I guess. Fresh off of that 2 over there. Let's try and keep that going, try and get another bird here. This one's got a few lines over the pond again, as you can see. Different pond, second pond. There's like a forehand line for a lefty or a righty hyzer. There's a lefty hyzer, which is what I'll be doing. And then there's like straight up through the middle. The reeds are a little too high right now for me to try that. Sometimes I do that with a putter, but I'm gonna be going high and wide with the squid. 11.5 -1.2. Let's just try and spike it in. Right kind of where those brighter green leaves are right there, and try and spike in towards the basket. All right, that should be really good. It might have went a little far right, but as long as it didn't skip too much, I think I came right down near the basket. I should have like, hopefully no more than 25 footer. Okay, so not the best foot placement here. There is a little trench here where a creek sometimes plays behind the basket. So I'm gonna have to step down in it and go for like a little straight putt. As you've already learned, I'm kind of a hyzery putter, so it's gonna be a little bit harder for me with this tree right here, but I'm gonna see if I can throw it a little bit flatter. Let's see if we can get a 2. All right, 2 birdies in a row. Should be a little bit more under par on this course, but honestly, this is one of the best rounds that I've played here like during like a challenge style like this. So these Neptune discs, they're legit. Okay, so 2 down right now with 1 spit out on hole 2 and then just a very short putt. Could have been putting together a pretty decent round, but it is what it is. Hole 6 is uphill the entire way. It's like right at 300, so it plays a little bit more than 300. I'm going to be going with the Marlin just because it's so understable. I don't know if I mentioned the flat numbers earlier. I believe I did on hole 1, but Pearl Plastic Marlin flat numbers 75 -41. So I'm going to just try and hyzer it and see if I can get it to flip up and turn some, and then maybe flatten out and just go dead straight. Okay, so I did what I wanted, but just a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be, honestly. Not actually that upset about it because they gave me a chance to use the Pearl Plastic Splash for a little upshot here. All right, so that was definitely way shorter than I thought it was. I thought it pushed up the hill quite a bit, but I came up very short here. It's okay. Got a chance to throw the Splash in the Pearl Plastic. As you can see, it feels identical to the other one, so no like weird domey issues or anything amongst the 2 plastics, or no variances really. It feels identical in the hand, aside from the actual grippiness of the plastic itself. The mold is what I'm saying. Really no difference in those. So I'm gonna give this a toss. Let's see if we can maybe throw it in. All right, so as you saw, just a great point and shoot putter. I aimed it a little bit left of the basket because I knew it was going to fade back some with that 3301, I believe are the numbers. It did exactly what I wanted to do, just a little bit more push on it, and they would have been in the basket. I'm definitely right there for the 3, so can't hate that. All right, so I'm not even going to pull the putter out. I'm just going to give the Marlin a little bit more love here. It's one of my favorite discs in their lineup, to be honest. I really love a good understable disc, and this one, if thrown properly, I've not thrown it great today, but this is definitely an outstanding flip up to turn over fairway driver. All right, so you're definitely not going to be able to see the basket on this one because it goes uphill the entire way, but if you can see that one tree right out there, the tallest one in the open, not way out in the distance, but the little green guy on the corner there, that's a fence line that goes this way and curves back that way. So you basically want to go right towards that, but just push maybe 40 feet past that. It is OB in that fence line over there, so definitely don't want to go there. I'm going to give the Marlin some more love. I usually throw something kind of overstable just straight towards that and let it fade towards it. But I'm going to go with the Marlin again, try and do like a high turnover, see if I can get up near the basket. Ooh, yeah, see, I love that disc. I don't think it's quite a -4. Granted, this is just a 9-hole round. I've only thrown it a few times. I have thrown it more on the course and have got quite a bit of turn out of it. But I would be more apt to give it like a -3 on the turn. You saw I turned it and then it just kind of flattened out. I should be looking at a putt probably just outside the circle. All right, so as I'm walking up the fairway of 7 here, just a little update on my score. I'm still 2 down. Just to let you know kind of how I play this course. These challenges like this, where I'm playing with discs I'm not that familiar with, they usually end right around even par. So shooting a little better than I normally do in these challenges. But my normal round here with my bag, I'm usually 4 or 5 down. We'll say 3 to 4. My best here is actually 7 down. Obviously don't expect to do that during this round, but as I'm getting up to it here, I can see I've got a putt. It's definitely further out than I thought. It's about 45 feet. Let's see if I can get it and see if I can get down to 3 here. I mean, I never really gave it a run on that one. Like I said though, I really do love the feel of that plastic. Having a hard time adjusting to the non-beaded aspect of this one. I do prefer a beaded putter, but If I was going to go with a non-beaded putter, the feel of that one is actually outstanding. All right, so once again, let's give it the old Marlin tap in. Woo. So I just realized that I've actually not said what course I'm playing. I'm playing Halo Disc Golf Course. This is the original tees in Whitesburg, Tennessee. This is a course that myself and my buddy Seth Overbay, can't believe I almost said his name wrong. Oh my God.
I'm just glad it was in Seth's face.
Called out.
All right, you know.
Seth Overbay, we designed together. So, very fun little layout here. Just a good mix of stuff here. Some shorter holes. We got 2 tees for every basket. So if you're in this area, come check it out. I promise you'll enjoy it. It's not going to be the most challenging thing you ever play, but with all the different layouts we have, you can see the tees here. We have painted out for all the different layouts that you can play. So A, B, which is original tees, and the newer tees, as well as red and white, which are short and long. So check it out. Let's play hole 8. All right, so hole 8 here. This is the long tee as well as the original tee. It's the longest hole on the course. It's 360 plus uphill the whole way. Shout out to my buddy Blake that also helps do a ton of work out here on this course. He actually aced this hole recently. First ace to be known on this hole here. Like I said, 360 uphill. I'm not coming close for an ace. I'm going with the squid once again. 11.5 -1.2. Little tailwind I can feel behind me, so I'm gonna turn it a little more than what I probably should, but I'm gonna just try and see if I can push past that tailwind. Okay, so yeah, it got the turn I was wanting it to, and it was flattening out, but you could just see the tailwind was just dropping it. That squid is very good if you do have a tailwind, because it can get that turn. That time it just dropped it, but the other times I've thrown it, that thing's very glidey. All right, so tailwind definitely dropped that down much shorter than I'm used to on this hole. And normally I would go putter from this shot right here, but I'm gonna go with the Nautilus here, just simply because I am gonna be throwing the splash off of hole 9's tee. So I wanna show them off as much as I can in this video, all of the Neptune discs. So I'm gonna go actually a forehand with the Nautilus, see how it holds up, go high and try and spike it in towards the hanging basket there. That was fine. I didn't go as wide as I would like to have, because now I'm over in those trees. That's actually gonna be a pretty tricky putt. You definitely want to finish right on this hole. Backhand would have been better, but I did want to throw the Nautilus on a forehand just to see how it reacts. Hello, Blue Jay. Honestly, I didn't end up in quite as bad of a situation, or position rather, as I thought I did from back there, but still with this tree in the way, it's a little tricky. Counted a par. All right, so the final hole here, hole 9, currently sitting at 2 down. It's like 191 feet. I'm gonna be going with the Pearl Splash, the premium plastic, as I said, 3301. Now we play this one as an island green. There's a 30-foot circle around the basket, and we've actually asked the mowers to set their blades down inside the circle, so that green's very fast and it can skip out. Kind of worried about that with the premium plastic, but I think I'm gonna go with this one anyway, just to show it off. I will throw the Bassline plastic as well after, just to see the difference in the 2 flights. But basket's right there, 191. Let's land it in the circle. Pretty sure that's like 5 feet from the pin parked. let's go ahead and go with the bass line just to see for comparison how it flies. All right, so a little bit of ace run on that one. It did come up short, but seemed very similar in flight. Honestly, I almost want to say that the bass plastic was a teensy bit more overstable. That could be because it's a little bit flatter on the top, but like I said earlier, not much of a difference in the molds in the feel of those plastics, but very good flight on that. Just point, shoot, go exactly where you want to go. All right, so you can see I'm approaching the green here where it is short. Grass is shorter. Both of the splashes ended very close to each other, but there's the bass plastic and right here's the pearl. Let's see if we can get our two. All right, so that is it for the 9-hole Neptune discs only round. Overall, I really do like these. The plastics feel great. I got my hands on 3 different plastics and 4 different molds. A huge thank you to Neptune Disc for sending me these. I really appreciate that. Please consider to go follow Neptune Discs on all their social media pages and let them know that BDGC sent you. That way they know that these videos are actually helping them out as well as myself. And maybe as they release more molds in the future, they'll be kind enough to send some of those as well for full disc reviews or another 9-hole round. So I finished 3 down with these, which honestly I'm pretty surprised by. Like I said earlier, I know I've said it twice, but just to reiterate, I normally shoot around even, sometimes 1 over with these challenge videos out here on this course. It's not a tricky course, but just throwing stuff that you're not that used to, it's a little more difficult, and I love that type of challenge. As I close the video out here, I am going to show you a little bit closer look at all of these discs. That way you know kind of what you're working with the plastics and the molds if you are looking to get into Neptune discs. As always, please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and help promote disc golf in your area. All right, so let's talk about the splash a little bit. As you see, got one in the bass plastic, very grippy, 3301 on the flight numbers, and I've got one in the pearl plastic here, premium polymer, as you can see, non-beaded putter, very flat top, very consistent among both of them. Very good feeling putter in the hand. I think you're going to like this one, so check this one out. Next up, the Nautilus is a mid-range, non-beaded, as you can see, also in the pearl plastic, if I can get it to focus there. Very good feeling mid-range, slightly overstable, but not ridiculously beefy. Very glidey for what those numbers say. I would almost give this a 6 on the glide instead of the 5502. Very good flat top, non-beaded, straight to overstable mid-range, gummy plastic in the pearl plastic, feels really good. All right, so next up we have the Marlin, very gummy, also in that pearl plastic, a little more pliable than the others, probably just due to the design of it. Very understable, nice design, not quite as understable in my opinion as what the numbers say, 7.5 -4.1. I would give this honestly probably a 7.5 -3.1. So very good, understable, great for the woods, but as it's not beat in, could just be because it's plastic, so good and premium, but not quite as understable right off the bat as what I believe the numbers say. All right, so last but definitely not least, I have the Squid here in the Triton plastic, 11.5 -1.2. This plastic is more similar to like a star plastic that you're all used to. Very good feel in the hand, 11 speed rim, as you can see there. Try and show the profile off a little bit. Very good feeling disc, a little bit of pop top, but not overly crazy on the dome. You can probably hear that. Outstanding driver. I can't wait to see how this one flies once it beats in. I think it's going to be great. Wraith-like disc and get a good amount of turn, but still get that stability at the end. All right, so this is bonus hole here, hole 5. Very short. That was a green heron, just flew by. That's cool. It's like 138, but a very tricky angle, as you can see. There is this little gap right through here that we recently cleared out, and then there's like the putter turnover for lefty here. I'm just going to throw do a forehand through there, and I'm gonna do a outside putter shot. I've been trying to ace this little short hole. Maybe I can get it with a splash. Oh, that was close. Now let's try the Nautilus forehand right through here. Newest gap on this hole. Let's see how it works out. Right over the top of the basket. Honestly, pretty proud of those 2 shots for the bonus hole. Couple ace runs, and not mad at either one of those.